Big, exciting, great news to start your afternoon as the president works both sides of the aisle to get you a $2,000 stimulus check. The president, while in Mar-a-Lago, is working with the Republicans to get them on board to pass a $2,000 stimulus check amendment to the bill which is on his table. That would mean you would get a $2,000 stimulus check within about 10 days after the president makes it law. The question is how soon? In this breaking development minutes ago, I'm going to go over what the president's doing, who he's using to help get the $2,000 approved, does he have the support of the Democrats, and what about that shocking remark by Joe Biden minutes ago that discusses the bill which is on the president's table. Meantime, I'll go over the incredible deal provisions which are in this second stimulus package that would still remain and would land in your bank account shortly thereafter. They're all really great news, and can we get to the finish line? All indications suggest we can. This is a major afternoon's recording of Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so excited you are here on a big, great afternoon of Afternoons LALATE. There's so much great news happening today as the push to get this done and get it done at $2,000 stimulus checks is heating up in a very positive way. So I'm glad you're here. Please subscribe because no one's working around the clock to get you this money and keeping you up to date by the minute. I'm recording more than anyone else, 12 videos a day, 24-hour programming channel here on this channel with shows from 1 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next day, keeping you up to date by the minute and getting you money from left and right. Also, like this video, as I almost choked myself to death on the set. In this video, I'll be going over the incredible great news coming out of Mar-a-Lago. I mean, Mar-a-Lago must stand for great news. Then I'll be tuning into all the developments that happen on a golf course, which ironically sometimes brings your best developments. Then I'll be turning back to those remarks by Joe Biden minutes ago, and I'll be telling you what's going on in the next 48 hours. Between today and Tuesday are going to be some of the most critical days of the last 6 months for your second stimulus check and second stimulus package. And I hope you are subscribed and hit the alert button and like this video because I don't want you to miss a minute. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is all really good news. The good news is that the president's push to get a $2,000 stimulus check amendment to the $600 stimulus check bill seems like it's working. What is he doing? Well, when the bill passed the Senate, there was a series of Republicans who voted in favor of a $600 stimulus check. And what the president's trying to do is get those same Republicans to vote again, yes, just for $2,000 as an amendment. He does not need to win over people who never wanted to give you a stimulus check because they're going to vote no. He doesn't need that many votes. He just needs a certain amount of votes. And so what is he using and how is he doing this? He's using Lindsey Graham, one of his closest allies. Lindsey Graham got the president to help Lindsey get re-elected in a very close Senate race. And now Lindsey Graham is helping the president win this 11th hour victory. How does this done? Well, when the bill went to the House, it got a certain number of votes in favor of it. More than needed. In fact, more for veto override. Then when it went to the Senate, yes, there were some people like Ron Johnson who voted against it, but it had a lot of positive votes in favor of it from GOP Republican leaders. All the president needs is those same people to vote again, yes, for an amendment to switch it from $600 to $2,000, and we are done. There is only two other things that really at the moment seem to be sort of innocuous. We don't know if they're at play or not at play. Ultimately, I asked viewers on Holidays LA Midday today, do you care if you get a $2,000 stimulus check in your hand, whether the countries of Kenya got $5 billion or not? No, of course you don't care. Ultimately, if you get your stimulus check, you don't care what the federal government is doing with money and sending it out to museums and foreign countries, so long as you get paid. It's when you don't get paid we have a big problem. So ultimately, are we going to go to the mat if we get our stimulus check, but other countries are getting other stuff? No, of course not. And that's what we sort of don't know just yet. In the last 48 hours, the president has made no mention about that foreign aid issue and made no mention of those museums. He's only talked about you and your stimulus check. This is really great news. So ultimately, if you got your stimulus check, we're done. Now, there's two things that's really great news about this, is that Nancy Pelosi on Monday will do exactly that. She'll do a one-page bill that'll say, I'm going to amend the 5,000-page bill to put it from $600 to $2,000 stimulus check, and we're done. And then if it goes to the Senate, then the same people the president is working the table with now, working the room, negotiating, sweet-talking, will vote yes, and we'll be done. The only time that this goes off the tracks is if the president really wants to hold this up for foreign aid issues and museum issues. If that becomes an issue where the Democrats don't want to take that provision out, then we may have a little bit of tangential problems. I don't see that as an issue at the moment. We haven't heard about those museums or those foreign countries since Tuesday. We've only heard it one time. This is all really good news. So how quickly could you get a stimulus check? How quickly could this become law? How quickly could the vote be done? The vote could be done from House to Senate to President in one day. That's likely to happen around Tuesday if they do this correctly. Then, how quickly would you get a stimulus check? 10 days thereafter, electronic receipt. And ironically, you're not losing any time because the stimulus check was not supposed to go out this week. This is a holiday week. It was supposed to not be signed by the president this weekend. It was supposed to be signed on Monday. And so ultimately, the most you're losing on this entire time frame is about 2 days later for your stimulus check than originally planned. No biggie. Now, in a second, I'm going to go over at the 10-minute mark all the other incredible provisions in this stimulus package, which you're going to love. Free broadband, free internet, free child care, increase of SNAP benefits, free rent, PUA, UI, all those other things that are really good in here. I know there's 2 or 3 things missing. I'm going to go over those as well. But stay with me at the 10-minute mark. I'll be getting to that in a second. What I want you to understand, though, is that a strange thing happened this afternoon, minutes before this recording. You heard me mention it first on Holidays LALATE. Joe Biden issued a news statement today. What did he do? Did he talk about his support of what Nancy Pelosi is doing on Monday? No. Surprisingly, he said the exact opposite. Why? I have no idea. It doesn't show consistency of message in the Democratic leadership, sort of like the Republicans not agreeing upon stuff all the time. Joe Biden did not say, I support Nancy's amendment to the bill and get this done on Monday and send it to the president and sign it and it will be done at $2,000 stimulus check. No. Joe Biden said the president needs to sign the bill as written right now and end it today. Excuse me? The president already said he won't do it. Now, that doesn't make really good messaging because Nancy's doing the exact opposite on Monday. Nancy's not overriding or pushing for the president to sign the bill as written. She's trying to set it up exactly for $2,000 stimulus check and get it done on Tuesday. Really peculiar. So why is Joe Biden saying that? He's saying it's going to be a down payment for your next stimulus check. As you've heard from me, and you're going to hear from me again, I hate that language. Why do I hate that language? Because no one is telling me what it's a down payment for. It's down payment for a stimulus check. Okay, how much is a stimulus check? Joe was asked that question last week. Well, actually, earlier this week. He was asked, how much is a stimulus check coming in January? Will there be a stimulus check? There will be a stimulus check. How much is it? I'm not going to answer that question. That's up for negotiations. So wait a second. You want us to accept $600 based upon a down payment of something we don't know what we're down paying for? I don't like that. Now, the good news is that the items that are omitted from the second stimulus package, the one that's on the president's table, that will be revised from $600 to $2,000 stimulus check. The good news is that Joe Biden, by all accounts, from whether it's Chuck Schumer or me, my reporting, suggests that on January 20th or 21st, right after the inauguration of Joe Biden, he will sign an executive order providing you 3 coverage issues that'll fix what's missing in this second stimulus package. What are those? On day one, he's expected to do executive order for eviction moratorium, not under the CDC, but just a federal, easy breezy eviction moratorium where you don't have to do anything, you're just protected. Second, a mortgage forbearance to protect you from mortgage foreclosure. That's again not in the second stimulus package bill. And third, a student loan federal debt forgiveness. That's not even in here. Not in here. And your student loan debt repayment expires in late December, so does your mortgage, and so does your eviction moratorium. So now at the 10-minute mark, as promised, I want to go over the incredible deal provisions which are in the second stimulus package, which are really good news. I mean, they're not good news, they're great news. Because there's a lot of stuff in here that people really need, and it's good stuff. First, SNAP benefits increased by 15% automatically. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't increase the eligibility, but it does increase the benefits by 15%. This is great news. Next, there's a series of things for low-income households, which are generally households who made $49,000 or less last year. What are they? First, free child support. Second, free rent. Third, free internet, which I refer to also as broadband, free internet, and also free rural internet. Now, farmers, oh boy, I've had a lot of farmers on this channel. I have a lot of viewers who are farmers and ranchers. I had one on Holidays LA today. And the great news is that they will be getting an additional stimulus check just for farmers and ranchers. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's going to be called an EIDL grant or if it's going to be called a stimulus check. It's referred to as a direct payment. That sounds like a stimulus check. But in the past, there have been EIDL grants for farmers, so it may be that as well. Also, if you work in the inner city, you will qualify for an EIDL grant. Only the inner city. That's also really good news. What else? Well, PUA expires tomorrow. PEUC expires tomorrow. And eviction moratorium expires on December 31st. What does this bill do? Extend all of them. And also gives you FPUC. So how does this work? First, let me go with the eviction moratorium. It's a CDC eviction moratorium created by President Donald Trump by executive order. That's the one where you print out a form from the CDC, you give it to your landlord, and then you're protected. It's not the easy one where you do nothing. This is the one where you have to print out some paper. That is extended to January next year. For one more month, it's extended. That's really good news. So you can't be evicted if you follow those procedures. But PUA and FPUC expires tomorrow, and in some states it's already expired. This is all really good news as well. But let me explain the nuance of it. And this is important to understand. Broadcast media is being horrible in the news reporting the last week. This is the story they're reporting. On Sunday, all your benefits, millions of Americans will lose their unemployment benefits coming this Sunday. It's not true. I'll tell you why it's not true. One, some of you have already lost your benefits a month ago, 2 weeks ago, weeks ago, because states don't wait to the very last day to end PUA on December 27th. They ended on December 14th or December 10th. That's the first thing. Second, they were going to expire even if Congress got this bill done. Why? Because it's too late. So there was going to be a delay of payments because Congress would have had to have done this bill a month ago, so you would not have a delay. What am I referring to? When Congress has a bill where there's money for state unemployment offices, they got to send the money from the federal government to the states, and then the states have to have you apply and certify for new weeks of benefits, have to reactivate your account from being inactive because the program was shut down. Now it's been reopened, and then send the money out. It's a slow process. It's at least a few weeks in the most modern state computer systems, and at least a 1 month to 2 month delay in the slower state processes. So as you sit here today, if you are waiting for unemployment benefits, if you are sitting here today, some states may not allow you to certify for benefits for the last week of December, the first week of January, or the second week of January, if your PUC or PUA expired. But once this becomes law, the computer system will show it's reactivated and may require you to press a few buttons, and then you can certify and get paid. You won't miss a week of benefits. This is really really good news. It'll just be delayed. It'll come a week later, which is not good for anyone. No one likes money come late, but it will come late, a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. FPUC will start up from January, from when the bill becomes law, and go forward. So how about 600? What about FPUC retro? What about $2,400 of SSI? What about the EIDL grant? I'm going to cover that all in our new hit show, Third Stimulus Check and Third Stimulus Package. That comes up 2 shows after this. After this is Purple Power, State Stimulus, and then is Third Stimulus Check. I go over all the big things that are coming in January. Those are a lot, and they're very exciting. So as you sit here today, what else should you be thinking about? Well, the hashtag campaign of the channel now is hashtag StimulusCheck2000. Go on Twitter, go on social media, and tag all the people you always tagged and say, do this. Do a $2,000 stimulus check, take out the foreign aid, and take out the museum aid, and call it a day. And get the law passed. Hashtag LALATE, hashtag Purple Power, hashtag StimulusCheck2000. Send the message to all the people in the White House, like Mnuchin and Meadows and Trump and Kudlow. Send the message to everyone in the Senate, like McConnell and his communications director and his press PR person. Send it to Josh Hawley and his communications director, and all the supporters of you as well, like Bernie Sanders, E. Warren, Elizabeth Warren, AOC. And then also tag all the people who may be naysayers. Those are, or people who are borderline, like the Lindsey Grahams of the world. You want to make sure that you get as many people in the Senate on board, as many people in the House on board, and then we're all on board. It's as simple as that. Ultimately, the nuances and the reporting from broadcast news over the next 3 days are going to be wrong. So I want you to sit back and let it slide. They're going to say that it's because of that. Ultimately, the point is, when are you going to get the $2,000 stimulus check? When is it going to be in your hands? Who's going to get it to you? How is it going to get to you? And how soon is it going to get to you? And we don't really need to hear about all this other stuff, do we? I don't think we do. Keeping it positive, keeping it focused, and keeping it from point A to point B is the most important thing. Ultimately, there is some obvious problems with this bill. The omission of the mortgage forbearance, the omission of the adult dependents, and other issues. But, you know, it's in universes like this that we have to deal with the cards that we're dealt. And the good news is that Democrats want to do the $2,000 stimulus check, with the exception of Joe Biden. Republicans, in some part, want to do the $2,000 stimulus check, and that all we have to do is get all the Republicans in favor of it and drop that issue of foreign aid and museum aid to the extent it impedes your $2,000 stimulus check. If you have questions or comments to today's video, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from them. Coming up next is Purple Power. That's our afternoon show about state stimulus. This is confirmed money. This is money that viewers have gotten. Last night, $12,000 gotten by 2 viewers in Purple Power Live, our sister show that airs every night at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, that goes over this again, but on a live show with a Q&A format, question and answer format. $12,000 for 2 viewers, and then a couple about 1,000 or 2,000 more for other viewers who tuned in, so they got rent and got utilities as well. Then following that is Third Stimulus and Third Stimulus Check about Biden stimulus, and then I'm back on live with Bean and Mitch, going over the latest nuances about Mitch and Donald. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay valid for more.